Okay, welcome to day 95. We're almost approaching day 100. What will I do for my day 100? Probably sell everything if it doesn't crash until then. I don't know, maybe we'll be 100k by day 100. Look at Bitcoin at 90,000, a new all-time high today. We did not receive one yesterday though, so keep that in mind. Yesterday was a bit of a correction day. This one's from the 11th of November. Today is the 13th. So on the 12th of November, it was a bit of a downer day. We didn't do too bad though. The lowest point we reached was 85,163. Our all-time high in November 11 was just on the 90,000, right? We had our dip. We came back up today, massive candle, 5.59%, and we reached our new all-time high of 93,373. I'm just going to circle that because it's important. We're reaching new all-time highs practically every day, with the exception of yesterday. And that's a good thing for the market here in general. So we are still holding above the 90,000. Sure, we did take some dips, but it seems like these dips are just immediately just being bought because we pump up right away. It's crazy. There's no chance of any corrections happening. RSI remains overbought the whole entire time, even after this yesterday's correction. If you want to call that a correction, it's barely a correction. It's still too expensive. Ain't nobody buying that at too high. I still believe this possible market manipulation, but maybe it's just actual fundamentals of Bitcoin just pushing the price higher as it's supposed to. After the elections, where we're likely not going to see 60,000 again. So yeah, it's painful to have to now buy Bitcoin above 70,000. What am I talking about? If we want to buy Bitcoin, you're going to have to look at the 80,000 mark, as we are currently above that, currently in the 90,000 mark. Honestly, 100,000 is not that far off. 10%, we've already done that in a day. I don't know, maybe it takes a day or two, 5% in one day, 5% the next day. We reach 100,000. I feel like it's too soon. We're November 13. I was projecting 100,000 by December, like end of year 2024. But hey, sure, you know what? The sooner the better. The greater the rise, the harder the fall. So, no, I'm kidding. Still, whatever dips happen, I will be buying if they are significant, because I've got plenty of orders down here, if you would believe that. Yeah, no, I don't know anymore, like, at this point. All these levels, for what? But it's fine. This is a massive increase, though. Like, just look at this uptrend that started from here for Bitcoin. That's what we got for now. Not too bad. It's holding on very solid. So, yeah, well, up 2.57% today, Bitcoin 90,000. That's excellent. My portfolio is $3,000. I think we saw this. Did we see this level? Yeah, we did. I think almost 2 days ago when I last streamed. I didn't stream yesterday. I was busy. But hey, Ethereum. Oh, Sui is our top gainer today. I'm happy I didn't sell Sui here, making $667. And I have my stop loss at 400, which should be increased. I don't even think I want to put these stop losses here anymore. I'll sell everything on day 100. New plan. There you go. Regardless of where the price is, my celebration for day 100 is selling everything I have. All right. I hope you guys are happy with it. This is almost going to get closed. This trade on Ethereum. Ethereum stopped growing after 3,002. It did reach 3,300 something. We'll review Ethereum in a minute. But yeah, it hasn't moved too much today or yesterday. But the days before that, it had significant growth. So we're happy for Ethereum. I did have to use Ethereum quite a bit today. And the gas fees are crazy. So it makes sense why we've got other alternatives like Solana and Sui. Ethereum is down 1.44% today, and at $3,222.22. We reached a high of 3,488, and that was actually yesterday. Seems like yesterday was Ethereum's big day. We had a correction kinda deal over here. We did dips at some point. I think over like 3,100. I did have some positions there with a stop loss on my main account, which closed in profit. But I still have a lot more positions open on Ethereum. I still think Ethereum is undervalued compared to the rest, but with good reason. The ETFs were not helping, but that might change soon. I've got some ETF news about Ethereum coming soon. Later on, when we talk about a news segment, I still have to get a transitionary screen for like, I don't know, like a big boom, like, let me show you, like, boom, news section kind of deal, you know? I don't know how I'm going to do that, but it's okay. Next, we got Solana, which is up 2.31%, priced at 214. Pretty good. It reached 225 at its highest point for this year already, because we've already passed our March high, which was this level right here, 210. And the 200 mark, we've already, you know, as long as we're above that, bull market confirmed for Solana. We broke out of our downtrends, which I've practically deleted by now. The only thing, our next approximation would be the all-time high, the actual all-time high of Solana that we reached in probably 2021, which is at, according to what I see, $259.78. I feel like it's a similar distance to how much Bitcoin would have to move in terms of how Solana moves. It's a much more volatile coin. So in this case, it's about 20% away, right? Bitcoin is about 10% away from reaching the 100,000 mark. So by the time Bitcoin reaches 100K, I'm expecting Solana to also break its all-time high level and continue forward at 260 approximately. Because, I mean, this is also easy. We can do 10% one day, 10% the next day, and yeah, we'll already be up there. I'm probably thinking too optimistically about it, but we'll see. SUI is up 9.66% today. It did dip a little bit. Yeah, that's considered a 14% dip. That's so much. And it's still priced at $3 at that point. Anyways, currently it's at $3.34. We did reach a new all-time high for SUI today, $3.44. And we're still headed upwards. 9% increase today is insane. So my portfolio is still booming, 3,100. I don't remember what it was the day before. Probably 3,000, I'm pretty sure. Doesn't matter anyway. I'm not going to sell this until day 100. That's the new plan. 5 more days until that. And I got to make sure I stream all those 5 days so I could sell it as soon as possible. Or maybe I'll want to wait to sell it. Or maybe if I wait too long, it'll all drop. I don't even know. We'll see what happens on day 100. I might just end up changing my mind completely. But yeah, anyways. Everything in general, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, SUI, the 4 coins that I track the most so far, they've got great uptrends going on for them. And I'll talk about other coins later, but there's so much to talk about that's happened in the past 2 days. So let's get into it. Starting off with not this. I just wanted to point this out. Oh my gosh, Nancy Mace, Congresswoman. Anyways, today was the UFO hearing day, hearing on the unidentified anomalous phenomena, where I didn't watch it. It's 2 hours and something minutes, so I have to watch that on my free time. I was way too busy today to watch literally anything, so I don't know. I'll give my actual thoughts on it probably tomorrow, if not the day after. Anyways, subcommittees of the House Oversight and Accountability Committee held a joint hearing on a secret government research programs pertaining to unidentified anomalous phenomena. So they call it UAPs, or UFOs as more commonly known. And practically just admitting, yeah, there's aliens. We're just based off the small clips that I've seen is like, yeah, we've retrieved biological specimens from crashed aircraft that were considered UFOs. So these were the 4 people testifying on that. Yeah. So we'll see. I'll give you guys an update on tomorrow on how much information we get for that. But for now, I ain't watching all that. Next, we got news that today, of course, Wednesday was when Biden mentioned he was going to see Donald Trump. So they met at the White House for the transition talks. Melania did not attend. She refused to after, I think she was just upset that this administration, Biden-Harris administration, had the FBI raid her home in Mar-a-Lago. Well, Donald Trump's home as well. You know what I mean. So, of course, she was not happy about that and decided not to attend. Fair enough. But Donald Trump was the one who attended there. Biden welcomed President-elect Trump to the White House, marking their first Oval Office meeting since Trump's 2020 loss. The two exchanged pleasantries by the fire, with Biden affirming a peaceful transition. Trump will officially take office in January after his recent victory over Kamala Harris. which is great. And Biden, of course, looks very happy. How much he's smiling. Of course, happy that Donald Trump takes the win over Kamala Harris because he's upset that Kamala Harris stole the race from him. At least that's what the rumors are. There's just so much evidence that practically points toward that. Literally this. Wearing the Trump hat during, instead of campaigning for Kamala and trying to squish his political enemy as much as he can. Of course, he had already done that for the previous 3.5 years. But when it came to election time and he was not going to be running for president anymore, he decided to throw Kamala Harris under the bus practically. And look at Jill Biden, of course, wearing full red Republican colors on voting day. Like, come on. They definitely wanted Trump to win, and they got it. So there you have it. Here's a photo of all of them together. Look how happy they all are. Just beautiful. Trump also, just another policy update. There's a lot of updates for Trump, so we'll talk about those. He's ending the veteran homelessness by redirecting the money that was used to house, move, and feed illegal immigrants, which should have been done in the first place, right? Why prioritize illegal immigrants over literal veterans that have served your country? I feel like they should obviously take the priority, and it seems like Trump is going to be fixing that and putting them first, which that's how things should be in the first place anyway. So that's great. So far, this is Trump's administration. So the vice president, we got JD. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? I'm gonna save this post for later because I'll just read out the newer ones and then we'll read everything in total because I think it's considered the rest of it in total there. Trump picks Kristi Noem to serve as his Homeland Security Secretary. I think she's a great choice. Most people are saying that she's a morally strong individual. Trump also nominates Matt Gaetz as Attorney General and Tulsi Gabbard as the National Security Director. I just want to talk about Matt Gaetz for a second because he did mention there's this viral clip of him going around now, of course, of all times, that he's popular because he just got picked by Trump, of him saying like, all these women who are afraid to get pregnant, right, and wanting abortion rights and everything like that are ugly women. And then a news reporter asked him about that, like, you mentioned that these were ugly women, is that correct? He's like, yeah. Well, people who rally for abortion, whatever. What would you say? Because some people might find that offensive. What do you say to that? Well, just stay offended, I guess, is what he said. So clearly doesn't care, savage and based guy. So great decision so far. Anti-woke stuff going on. And also Tulsi Gabbard, who was put on a terror watch list from before. She was a Democrat as well. Now she changed to being a Republican, and she's now the Director of National Intelligence, and I'm very happy for her. I love Tulsi Gabbard, and I'm happy that she got a position in Trump's administration. And of course, this is like the biggest FU to the deep state swamp, given, they wanted to put her on terror watch list, etc., try to bring her down or whatever. Strong woman right here. More power to her. And this made me smile even more. I was upset that Vivek Ramaswamy didn't get picked for this other position that Marco someone else, I forgot his name, got picked for, because Vivek was being considered for one of those positions. But this turned out to be a lot better than I thought, because Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, D-O-G-E, is official. It's happening. It's real. I titled that for this video because it's awesome, and it's making meme coins explode today, which we'll talk about as well. And of course, at the head, we've got Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy in that position, which just a slammer team. These guys will absolutely get the job done, and it makes me smile so hard. I think I'm going to break my face because it's so good. They've also finally released their official Twitter page for the Department of Government Efficiency, and it's literally at Doge. That's just so perfect. I love it. The official Department of Government Efficiency page is now created, verified, and active. If you want to follow, here it is, just for proof. It's legit. It's here. Already 708,000 followers in one day. Nice. People love it. So, okay, now I wanted to read this list. This is the Trump administration so far. We got Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio was the guy I was trying to talk about, who Vivek was also considered for this position for Secretary of State, but Trump ended up giving it to Marco Rubio. But at least Vivek got selected for this part, the government efficiency advisors with Elon Musk, which is cool. Defense Secretary, we have Pete Hegseth. Secretary of Homeland Security is Kristi Noem, which I mentioned. Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz. CIA Director, John Ratcliffe. Some of these I don't know, like Mike Waltz, John Ratcliffe. I don't know who Susie Wiles is. White House Chief of Staff. EPA Administrator, Lee Zeldin. I don't know. Ambassador to the United Nations, Elise Stefanik. White House Counsel, Bill McKinley. Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller. Border Czar, Tom Homan. This is so good. I like this guy, Tom Homan. He's great. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, I don't know. And Middle East Envoy, Steve Witkoff. We also have Dan Scavino, James Blair, and Taylor Budowich, who will also take senior staff roles in the White House. So far, such a great composition for Trump's administration. His whole team, it looks fascinating, and I'm excited for these 4 years to come. It's all I really wanted to see. I wanted to see Trump, I wanted to see JD Vance, Tulsi Gabbard, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Elon Musk. And we got all of that, which is fascinating. Yeah, so great. Moving on. Doge, of course, given this whole news of Department of Government Efficiency, it's already surpassed the market cap of Ford Motor Company, guys. Like, come on. Dogecoin, a literal meme coin, is worth, like, it has more money in it than your car, like your car company manufacturer, your average car company manufacturer, like Ford Motor. Like, that's crazy. Anyways, more meme coin stuff. Coinbase has listed a lot of things on their exchange, making meme coins pump like crazy. A man's best friend with a hat. So Dog Whiff hat, Whiff, is available for trading on Coinbase. They also hinted at Pepe practically. They literally posted it 3 times, and so did Pepe also react with the frog. So they listed Pepe, and oh my god, is Pepe rising today? Let me show you this. I did make my good old profits on Pepe. 79%. Okay, I could have made more. What happened is I saw this. I put a stop loss over here, and it triggered that. It dipped. I'm like, look how smart I am. I saved myself from a loss. And then it pumped harder, and it's still pumping. So whatever, maybe I'm not that smart. But hey, I'm happy for Pepe. It's rising like crazy. But it's not only Coinbase. Robinhood is another exchange as well that listed Pepe, Solana. Apparently they didn't have Solana. Like what? Cardano and XRP. That's crazy. And finally a stablecoin listing, if you know what I mean, XRP. But yeah, I mean, the main thing, of course, is Pepe. Everything else, of course, did get a bit of a pump, but not as crazy as the meme coins did. Pepe was rising like crazy. And Peanut, of course, which also is having a massive day, which I think is also on here. 366%. Why didn't I buy this? I absolutely could have. I saw this when the price was like right over here. And no, I didn't buy it. I was skeptical. I thought the peanut meme was going to be over, but we got this confirmation of the news that the social media star squirrel euthanized after being taken from home. It was tested negative for rabies. The reason why the New York raided this man's house to steal his pet squirrel was to euthanize it because it might have had rabies. Well, they just did I guess, an autopsy or whatever. It tested negative for rabies. This squirrel was literally not a danger to anybody, and very well trained squirrel. Famous on social media from this guy who decided to adopt it, and the New York authorities busted into his house with guns, I think, and they just killed it. And of course it helped Donald Trump's campaign win because everybody was saying justice for Peanut. With Donald Trump, this stuff wouldn't happen. Save the squirrels, MAGA. You know, you got the meme. So yeah, I keep forgetting to unbookmark stuff. Okay, this is spooky news. The CEO of Polymarket, if you guys know, you know, the Poly polls that we were always checking to see, oh, who's going to win the Trump presidency? Do I even have it anymore? I do have it, Polymarket. And I have it under elections here, where, you know, we would see the polls, right, between Trump and Harris. Of course, Harris is finally 0. Oh my gosh, that is so great to see. Anyways, I'm happy that Trump won. And anyways, this guy's getting arrested. Why? Maybe because of illegal gambling, I'm assuming. I did share some news with you guys before as well. In France, um, they arrested some guy, I think, for betting on the poly market as well. And he made a huge profit from Trump winning. Yeah, France is like seizing that guy, and that's just not cool. Nobody likes France. But anyways, now is apparently the FBI is investigating the Polymarket's CEO. They took his phone and electronics. Yeah, that was not cool. So, yeah, you tell me. We also got new leaks indicating that the Democrats are planning to have AOC run for president in 2028. If you forget who that is, AOC is her name Alexandria, who is, I always have to look her up. Can't remember her name. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who is a Democratic congresswoman who got owned by the new border czar. I keep forgetting his name. It was Tom something, whatever, not relevant at the moment. But yeah, they might consider having her run for president in 2028, which means it's going to be her versus JD Vance, possibly. Maybe, because I don't think Trump can do a third term. Biden-Harris administration announces, just to like slap Trump even more, they're planning to send every dollar possible to Ukraine before Donald Trump's presidency begins. Like, why? Just Ukraine doesn't need more money. They just need that wars to end, and that's all. And of course, the meme is that Zelensky is getting rich off of the United States practically, and they're just gonna keep sending him money. So hey, I might name myself Ukraine and get some of that. We also have, oh no, the Guardian, whom I love. I hate Guardian. I actually, do I even follow Guardian? They exist. Whoops, I can't spell. The Guardian. Oh, I didn't even follow them. This account has been archived. Follow us on theguardian.com. They're practically no longer going to be posting on Twitter. I'd never followed them in the first place, so whatever. You know what? And to add insult to injury, I'm going to block you just because it's funny. Haha, take that. And of course, we got Greg here, Twitter sensation, saying, "This is not an airport. You don't need to announce your departure." And he actually managed to ratio them one last time before they're gone forever. He got 28k likes over 24k likes from their original post. So just to add insult to injury. Fantastic. Don't worry, guys. Don Lemon is also quitting Twitter after 16 years because he says, oh, this violates free speech. It does not serve that purpose. Twitter is, what did he call it? Like some, whatever, new terms of service, which among other things states that, can you hurry up and yap? U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas or state courts located in Tarrant Country, Texas, end quote. The full terms of service can be found on my written statement or on the X website now. As the Washington Post recently reported on X's decision to change terms, this quote ensures that such lawsuits will be heard in courthouses that are a hub for conservatives, which experts say could make it easier for X to shield itself from litigation and punish critics. I think that speaks for itself. You can find me on YouTube, la 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 la. He's quitting Twitter. Nobody cares. And Elon Musk also came out to comment on that. So The Guardian and also Don Mellon, not Don Lemon, it's Don Mellon now. They don't have to announce the departures. X is not an airport. Kind of using what Greg mentioned, that same meme. And look at it. It's Vivek and Elon Musk. That's cool. They're going to be running the Department of Government Efficiency. So if you don't do anything, you get out kind of deal. It's not just them though. CNN also like is kind of falling apart. I don't know if they're falling apart. They're firing hundreds of employees, including some of their top stars, according to Puck News. This news comes as CNN's Chris Wallace says he is not returning after his contract expires. I don't remember if I shared this news, but yes, Chris Wallace is stepping down. He said he's just going to stick to podcasting instead. Anyways, Dylan Byers wrote that in the next few months, I'm told, CNN will implement another round of layoffs that will impact hundreds of employees across the organization. Some of the on-air talent are also likely to be affected. It is unclear at the moment who will be axed, but the stars like Anderson Cooper made $20 million a year, while Caitlin Collins made $3 million a year. That's crazy. Yeah, but they're firing a lot of people in CNN, so cool. No one cares. Bitcoin is a digital gold. Gold, if you noticed, is dumping. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is pumping like crazy. I have not looked at gold, so let's look at gold. Right here. Gold. Yeah, it's dropping a lot, if you'll notice. And I did mention this before, like months ago, that, you know, we were seeing all-time high levels for gold. And I said eventually Bitcoin is also going to see all-time high levels because it trails the price of gold, like the movement of gold, the general kind of movement. Because people, like, they don't want this kind of reserve asset anymore. They start buying risk assets like Bitcoin once, you know, they know for sure there's not much that it will be impacting the price of Bitcoin negatively, which is where what we're currently seeing right now. Especially if you look at like the volatility index, it's starting to decrease a lot now because there's nothing that will be impacting the price of Bitcoin negatively. So that's important. Ethereum spot ETFs also saw a record-breaking net inflow of $294 million today, and this all-time high inflow can mark the beginning of a strong rally for Ethereum and altcoins, which is fascinating. I have this to show you. Let's talk about Ethereum ETFs. Remember that I said our total ETF flow was negative, right? Ever since Ethereum's inception, the ETFs, I mean, it's sure there have been some inflows, but it's mainly just been outflows, especially from Grayscale, to the point where, you know, the inflows were not beating what the outflows were, and we just had just more outflows than ever. Well, that number has changed finally. We just had 100 million and another 100 million inflow from BlackRock. So now we've got $200 million inflow in total, which is starting to flip positive, finally. So it seems like things are starting to shift now. Ethereum will no longer be like oversold, and people, ETFs and the institutions, right? They're going to start buying Ethereum more regularly now. We're already getting great inflows from BlackRock here. And still no numbers reported today, but so far another $111 million inflow today. So from other ETFs, that's great. Grayscale though keeps on selling though, so I don't think they're going to be changing anytime soon. I don't know. One of their funds sells, the other one doesn't. Like it's 12 million inflow compared to 33 million outflow, and then almost same kind of correlation over here. It's weird. Anyways, I do want to also check. Get out of here. Why did ad is so massive? Oh my gosh, $700 million inflows from BlackRock alone. $1 billion inflow on November 11. That's pretty significant. Today, we don't have number posted yet for BlackRock, but I'm sure it'll be massive. And yeah, it's crazy. Like the inflows that the ETFs are having for Bitcoin. Yeah, it's pretty huge. Okay, cool. That's all I wanted to talk about there. The European, just the European continent, I guess, economy is not doing so great. Today, the US economy is 50% larger than the entire European economy combined. And here's a thread about what's going on behind the economic suicide of Europe. First, let's look at the numbers. So the GDP for United States is 25.5 trillion, sorry, and compared to Europe, it's 16.6 trillion. But in 2008, they were nearly equal. So what happened over the past 16 years? Europe chose security over growth. America chose innovation over regulation. What was the result? America's produced $9 trillion companies, which 9 out of 10 of the most valuable companies in the world right now. And Europe, zero. They didn't produce any trillion-dollar companies in that whole time. It goes deeper than the numbers, though. European talent is fleeing en masse. He sees most European entrepreneurs choosing between two paths. They either move to the United States for higher salaries or Southeast Asia for lower cost of living to build startups. Because Europe, it's impossible to win at home. Okay, that's not important. But what happens is, like, you know, in places like Silicon Valley, New York City, founders are celebrated. Risk taking is rewarded. It's better to take risks outside of Europe, practically. And there's one important point here. The Europeans are drowning in red tape. So the employment laws make hiring or firing impossible. The tax rates are crushing small businesses, and compliance costs is killing innovation. To start a company in France, it takes 84 days. In America, it takes 4 days. It's just huge difference, right? And even French President Emmanuel Macron admits that the anti-innovation mindset, for example, is killing Europe. Protester stuff going on over here. It goes on and on and on. Okay, I probably should not have opened this thread in the first place, but hey, you got the idea. It's difficult to start business and entrepreneurship in Europe compared to the United States, right? Here's just examples of successful companies and everything. What Europe must do is slash regulation, embrace risk-taking, support entrepreneurs, and lower the taxes on innovation. And I think that they are starting to do that, kind of. Remember that I shared the news that Italy would be lifting their capital gains tax on crypto to 42%, which was brutal. They're now changing it to 28% instead, which is still brutal, but not as bad as 42%, I suppose, right? So there's that change, kind of positive. Poland, is this guy the new president or what? Member of European Parliament for Poland. I don't know who this guy is, but it seems like he's also, this whole MAGA movement, it's spreading to the other countries. People are starting to realize, yes, we do need to fix our countries and make them great again, like Donald Trump is doing. And, this guy wants to make Poland great again. We all want to make Canada great again, but Canada is in a tough spot economically as well. Europe and Canada, I guess, is like not great economies at this point. Canadian dollar, for instance, it hits a 4.5 year low near $1.40 for a US dollar. I don't remember if it's like that makes it too expensive or too cheap to say. Like, if you want one Canadian dollar, no. If you want one US dollar, okay, you have to pay $1.40 to have that US dollar in Canadian dollars. It's more expensive. Or, yeah, because our coin is too cheap. Okay, that's the logic. It's kind of complicated to explain, this whole Forex thing. And it's so bad to the point where Bitcoin's market cap will soon surpass the actual Canadian dollar, the market cap of the Canadian dollar. Again, Bitcoin will soon store more economic value than the entire currency of our country here in Canada. I suppose it's not surprising, given how easily our money can be frozen and seized or printed out, etc. Yeah. Which, I mean, that's just the reason why Bitcoin exists. It's the best hedge against inflation and not regulated by other governments or companies. It's all done on its own, right? All set by code, and that's why people love Bitcoin. That's why it's the digital gold. All right, cool. Let's keep talking more about Canada here. I did share this news before that Remembrance Day specifically. That was November 11, similar to Veterans Day, where there was a high school principal who he played a Palestinian protest song instead of like on the Remembrance Day service. Like, why? Palestine has nothing to do with the fallen soldiers that fought hard for our country, whom you should respect. And Pierre Poilievre came out to condemn this and saying, this is our Remembrance Day ceremony. Playing that protest song is demeaning, devaluing the service of women and men who died fighting for our country's freedom, and he should be fired. And we did figure out who this is, so here he is, the Ottawa high school principal. He apparently apologized for playing it, but whatever. His name is Aaron Hobbs, principal at Sir Robert Borden High School. Okay, I don't agree with this, the doxing part, but yeah, he should lose his job for sure. Hobbs only made sure that Remembrance Day ceremony at his high school only played pro-Hamas victory song, not even the anthem or taps. The school did not follow the Royal Canadian Legion protocol for Remembrance Day services, and he knew it, which is beta energy. Yeah, he's got to go. Come on, buddy. We also identified, I think I shared this news again as well, where somebody was filming from her car and screaming profanity, I guess, to a bunch of people commemorating Remembrance Day, right? While driving, she started screaming stuff, the F word, and we figured out who this is. is a York University and University of Toronto in Mississauga lecturer. Shouts FU to veterans on Remembrance Day. Deport. Yeah, that's the right option. Anyways, yeah, so Pierre also comes out to say what an absolute disgrace that so many woke activists and authorities use Remembrance Day to push their divisive and radical causes, denigrating our history and the brave military members who sacrificed for it. It's just disrespectful to do that in general. We are a proud country with a proud history. Everyone who lives here should be grateful to call Canada a home. And for sure, that should be the case. But it's just so bad. Oh, here's the video, by the way, of her screaming to all those people there. But anyway... oh yeah, and also Trudeau is no help. When it comes to talking about pride, Trudeau puts a whole paragraph out with images and everything. But when it comes to Remembrance Day, kind of the same, just lest we forget. That's it. Come on, post more. Do something more. At least for the fallen soldiers. Pierre also is coming out to say, like, the GDP per capita, which I did also show this. I think Elon Musk showed us the similar picture. As soon as Trudeau took office, the GDP for Canada has been performing worse than the United States. After 9 years of Trudeau and NDP Liberals. Growing paychecks, jobs, and investments in the United States. But in Canada, what do? We get higher taxes, fleeing capital, shrinking opportunity. Imagine how much money will leave if Trudeau quadruples the carbon tax to 0.61 cents per liter. Yeah. So, main idea, as Pierre likes to say, Trudeau is not worth the cost, and we got to get him out to make Canada great again. It's also been noted by many of the people landing top jobs with Donald Trump have been critical of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the security at Canada's border, saying, I don't see a whole lot of friends of Canada in there. It also comes from this where the U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's border czar says that there is an extreme national security vulnerability along the Canada-U.S. border, and that he plans to deal with the movement and the new administration. My gosh, he plans to deal with the moment the new administration takes power. So it's not just the Mexico border that they got to worry about, but this guy's also going to take charge of the Canada border, whatever the heck is going on up there. And this comes due to reports that like migrants are now fleeing New York City hotels via buses to Canada because they know that Tom Homan is coming for them. So yeah, they're starting to run. They're scared. And yeah, here's the MAGA fun meme thing. MAGA, make Alberta great again, a province in Canada. That's pretty funny. All right, Frenchie, how much for Alberta? Anyways, we also need to see this Elon Musk energy, because he did also start posting quite a bit about Canada. It seems like what he did with the United States was so successful, he kind of wants to help out Canada, MCGA, make Canada great again. And I feel like that would be possible under a new leadership, of course. Trudeau is not helping in this case. We want Pierre Poilievre instead in office. And we're starting to see like this kind of energy, as I mentioned, right? The same way Poland sees that energy, Canada's starting to feel that energy too, of, Maple MAGA is what they call it, right? Canada first, where people will start waving the Canadian flag around in protest against stuff they disagree with, which seems to mainly be immigration, what most people are concerned about, most Canadians at least. That seems like what's ruined the economy. And of course, there's many other factors to it as well. The taxes are crazy high. It's higher than what Italy even proposes. 50% tax rate over here for capital gains. It's crazy. Anyways, even XQC, who lives in Canada, says, why would anyone want to live in Canada? Oh, hey, Bradley, you're only 40 minutes late, probably. Anyways, hey, Bradley, did you know in Mississauga there was a ban on street sports, including hockey and basketball? But anyway, they uphold the ban. I bet cricket is okay. That's pretty funny because there's a lot of Indians. Anyway, get it. Did you also know that Eglinton's Crosstown has now entered its 14th year of construction in Eglinton? That's awesome. That's never going to get finished. And there's also a lot of crime going on in Toronto. The police officers on undercover sting operations are accidentally getting caught up in massive 24-person shootouts. Because if you didn't know, footage, and after there's a alleged footage here of a session gone wrong last night in Toronto. They were, I don't know, what is this, some nightclub. It's full of the usual suspects. Shooting over 100 shots were fired. There's 23 people arrested in total. 16 firearms recovered. Uh, isn't isn't guns supposed to be illegal? Why do we have so many people with guns in this specific place? Like, what is even happening? Anyway, Eglinton is near your grandma's house. Cool. What? Okay, cool. Did you know about this? This is a funny story I just saw. Wisconsin man allegedly took out a life insurance policy of 375,000, faked his own drowning so that his family can get that $375,000, and then he abandoned his family and fled to Eastern Europe. Great choice. Eastern Europe is a great spot. Maybe to start a new family. I don't know, but hey, well, yeah, he got caught, I guess. So there you have that. Spirit Airlines, which was known for its cheap flight prices and overpriced baggage fees and other services, they're preparing to file for bankruptcy. So no more Spirit Airlines. I've heard of it, but I'm not flying in it. But I don't know. Might be bad for airline companies. Suspicious. Alex Jones. This is my last bit of news for today. His Infowars is shutting down. This is Wednesday, so I'm assuming that's today. Yeah, it is today. He's also facing that auction to pay $1.5 billion to Sandy Hook families. We're also hoping that maybe Elon Musk will buy Infowars and give it back to Alex Jones, because who else has a spare $1.5 billion laying around? I'm sure Elon Musk would be glad to contribute to Alex Jones if he loves him that much. And yeah, that's all I got for today. Man, I'm upset I didn't buy Peanut. That's crazy. Sui is still pumping 13%. Yep, it's about to reach its all-time high again. $3.40. How are we doing with the rest? 3,114. Okay, so that number hasn't quite changed. But, yeah. Spirit Airlines, fly with us if you're broke and don't care about that. Yeah, that's true. That should be their new motto. Almost 700 on Sui. That's almost, yeah, it's about, yeah, 700. There you go. That's crazy. Okay, so here's my new plan, is just to sell all this by day 100, in case you missed that. And yeah, I don't know what else to do here. Really, like, what's the point of technical analysis? Everything is just going up at this point. We're not looking for any spot where it can drop. We just can give a basic idea of, okay, we're absolutely having our next resistance where 100,000. Yeah, that's the next resistance. So I mean, if we do go flat or down, it wouldn't be past this uptrend line that we're currently seeing. Otherwise, we're gonna have to start worrying about levels again, and this will be our top. But the uptrend is still very strong. The super trend has not flipped bullish, bearish. Bullish, did I say? Yeah, bearish. Ever since the election, it's been bullish, super trend. So that's continuing upwards for a long time. Did I put some in Bitcoin? No, I did not. It's still too expensive. I'm not buying that. I'm waiting for a nice drop, maybe till like below 80,000. I'd be willing to buy Bitcoin. If you asked me like a week ago, no, I'd be, you'd have to say I would be crazy to buy Bitcoin in the 70,000s. But now I feel like the 70,000s is such an appealing price to buy now. It's crazy, the amount of growth. But like at this rate, dude, we're gonna reach 100,000 in no time before the close of the end of this month. Yeah. I hope not though. I hope we still get like just one more drop, maybe to like this uptrend line. Will be nice and safe. Like, can we go back to where we were before the elections? We do need some devastating news though, and there's nothing that can cause that kind of a drop. Like, I can't think of any news other than, okay, what could cause a drop on Bitcoin? China invades Taiwan. Russia keeps on attacking Ukraine. Iran goes to war with Israel. None of those are not that possible anyway. I mean, what might be possible is Trump assassination. Like if they manage to pull off a Trump assassination, that's gonna kill the whole the crypto market. And I hope that does not happen. for the record. um, yeah. I'm also just checking Twitter here on my phone to see what else I could possibly yap about. Oh, Polymarket CEO got arrested, but I don't think that would cause too much of a drop, honestly. Maybe that's what we saw from here today, because this news just came out today that Polymarket CEO got arrested. It wasn't as like impactful as, Pavel Durov arrest for the CEO of Toncoin, for example. That did have a big drop once that news broke out. It was this over here, I'm assuming. Was it October 1st? No, that was the war. It was this when yeah, this is a massive drop over here. 12% drop on Toncoin, which I saw that live happen, and I did take advantage of these dips over here. I've made my profits. It's still stayed flat though. Toncoin still has to recover its way back to where it was before Pavel Durov got arrested in France. Screw France, am I right? But yeah, other than that, realistically, yeah, World War III would be the only driver that causes Bitcoin to crash, which it's not likely. There's a lot of people already already making negotiations with Trump. So you also notice the volatility index that I showed you. It's dropping. So that means that things are calm in the market once the price of this volatility index drops. But when things are crazy and scary, spooky, we don't know what's going to happen kind of thing, that's when we see this thing spike up to the moon. Like we saw over here in August 5, there was a big fear of recession. So that's the time when we saw that pump up like crazy. And then September, for some reason, the markets also lost a lot of money on that day. Things calmed down here before October. October, people started, this started rising over here October 1st because Iran attacks Israel. And then also preparation for the elections kept the price of it high. Just some high tension. We didn't know if Kamala Harris would steal the election or if Donald Trump would win and we would go to the moon. The latter happened, of course. Donald Trump won. We went to the moon. And everything is great now. So that's why this is currently dropping. It's good to like DC into some positions around this kind of zone if you ever catch that price range, which it has reached before. But that's just to be ultra conservative. I mean, you could probably enter. I didn't mean to move that. You could probably enter like right now. Not financial advice, but like I'd be comfortable with entering like a small position here just to get exposition to this. But I don't think we're gonna see crazy volatility in the near future, right? And I can invest into this myself because I don't have any brokers that offer this for me. So I have to find like some what do you call it, derivative, like some other form of it. There's one HUV, which is Beta Pro S&P 500 VIX, but it's a short-term futures ETF, which is also leveraged, which I don't like leveraged ETFs because they decay over time. What that means is like it costs high amount of money and will always go down in price. You'll see that historically, right? And I mean, to not so that the price never hits zero, they do these things called splits, where they just divide the price into like divided it by, well, they multiply it by 10, and they also multiply your shares by 10 kind of deal. But I mean, it still gives you exposition to the volatility index, except that it's just less impactful, right? Like the August 5th big spike that we saw, you see that reflected over here, right? On this candlestick. Which, I mean, it gives you that same percentage movement, but like when things calm down, this will continue going lower and lower and lower. So, I mean, to give you any specific price, like I would wait for the price to be below $7 before I start thinking about buying this. And it's in Canadian dollars as well, which is great. You can put that in a tax-free savings account and make some nice profits if something crazy happens, if a war breaks out, or if, I don't know, something crazy. What else do we got? Oh yeah, I wanted to check the meme coins. Because, okay, we already checked Pepe. That had a massive day today. Dogecoin, it was up a lot. I mean, it's gone all up quite a lot anyways, like during the past month and the past week as well. due to Department of Government Efficiency actually being a thing confirmed. We got Vivek and Elon in there. Shiba Inu riding the coattails of Dogecoin. Pepe massive listing in Robinhood and Coinbase. Dog with Hat got listed on Coinbase. Bonk, I think, got listed somewhere. What happened with Bonk? I know they got listed somewhere. Let me see the news. Does it show here? More news on the way. Stay tuned. Thanks for not giving me news. It got listed on Binance. That's what it was. Peanut the squirrel. Just crazy pump. Oh my gosh. I could have taken advantage of it. I don't even know if I should just FOMO into it right now. Like, Peanut. I feel like it's gonna be a dead meme very soon. Like, why? This is just like an election meme. The elections are done. We already figured out after he was euthanized that he did not have rabies. So what's the point from here? I don't see, like... But I also don't want to short it. Like, people will go crazy and still keep buying it. But, like, I can't confirm that either. So it's... I don't know. Too much of a gray area. Floki also pumping. Like, the meme... This is just a meme coin day, practically. Look, everything is up 15, 40%. Nero is not up at all. Brett is up 20%. Popcat on Solana is up 23%. Notcoin is a meme coin? I didn't know that. I thought it was just another part of, you know, what would have been Hamster Combat or Telegram's Toncoin. Book of Meme is up 21%. And yeah, the rest are just random meme coins that you'll never hear about. Alright, cool. I'm not one to really buy meme coins that much. But hey, I made some good profits on Pepe. Pepe had a massive day. 74% today. Oh my goodness. I should have still held more. But hey, I didn't want to be too greedy either. I just took my profits. I was happy with my profits at that time. And I wish I could stay with that feeling for now. Alright, that's all. That's all I'm going to talk about for here. Is Bitcoin still a good buy? Probably not. And I've been saying no for the past week and a half now. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow with a lot of news because there's so much news.